Tony D and Little Joan with a screenwriter's rant on The Seating, a very sort of avant garde film about a guy who's trapped in a some kind of western hellhole that he can't get out of, and I think it's a metaphor for a lot of things. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 13, available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So, yeah, this is a horror movie, but it's like very metaphorical, I think. A guy stumbles into some sort of cul-de-sac and then becomes trapped in it or falls into it. Doesn't really say. And I think there's some credits just at the very end here. You see him there. He's in the dark. He's in the dark, scoping around, looking for the people who are in the back. There it is. Okay. Written and directed by Barnaby Clay. The lead is Scott Hayes and Kate Lynn Shield and Alex Montaldo. So I don't know any of these actors, but that doesn't mean they're bad. It's, they're like playing almost a camera trick on you. Like he somehow gets into this, I don't know what you'd call it, some sort of valley that has a house in it, but he can't get out. He's trapped. And he tries to climb out on his own. He falls, he gets injured, and come to find out a woman lives in the house that's in this little cul-de-sac, and he's trapped there. After trying to get out, he's trying to recover, he's trying to grow food. At some point, he spots people at the top of the ledge and calls for their help. They get a rope, and then they basically tease him, that they're going to pull him out, and they start to pull him out, but then they start screwing around with it. And they start swinging him back and forth. Eventually, I think they drop him again, or the rope breaks. So, it's not a movie that's set in any kind of, it says thriller. I would call it an avant-garde kind of horror movie. What is the valley a symbol for? Like one of the most obvious ones when they do these kinds of things, it's hell. He's trapped in hell, right? And he's being tortured for his various sins. They don't really get into the character much. All you know is he's trapped and everybody around him's a weirdo. The people up on the ledge are just giggling buffoons. The woman in the valley in the house with him keeps saying she wants to take care of him, but doesn't really tell him anything useful. Eventually, the people from the ledge, I think, come down and torture him in person, and it's it's going to be one of these weird movies that creates its own rules. It can be interesting, these movies, but they're very much film school movies. They're very heady, and most people don't like them. They're kind of a film person's film, and as much as I'm in the film, I usually don't like them. Sometimes they're interesting to watch, just to watch something different and arty, I guess, but ultimately they don't really do much for me. But they can be daring and different. They're not completely not worth seeing if you're in the movies. I think if you're not in the movies and you just want some, straightforward plot, I don't think this movie's for you. But I think if you're a huge fan of horror and you want something different, then maybe they're trying to do something, next level in terms of the mental game of a horror movie, then it could be interesting. That being said, it makes it these kinds of films make it nearly impossible to do the damn trailer, because often what happens in the movie is so obtuse. What's happening in the movie isn't really what the movie's about. Everything's a metaphor for something. So to cut the trailer with the actual events in the movie, it's almost misleading. So, how do you even cut a trailer for a movie like this? It's hard to say. I think in the old days they would have done a voiceover to explain it, and but that's hard to do too, because you might be giving away the metaphor, and you sometimes want the audience to discover that in a movie like this. You want them to think it's one thing, and then as they're watching it, they go, "Oh, very clever." So it's kind of like trying to do, one of these crazy paintings that looks one way, and then really it's about something else. That all being said, I don't know. It could just be a bad movie. It may have some actual plot here that I'm missing that they just didn't show in this. The look of it's kind of interesting. But, I'm a very practical meat and potatoes kind of movie viewer typically. So these movies usually don't appeal to me unless they're very good. Or, and even then, like, only some of it appeals to me. So, I don't think they're for mainstream audiences. I certainly don't think they should be full-length movies most of the time. I think they can get their point across in a much shorter film. But, I don't think a lot of the filmmakers who try this stuff, a lot of times I don't know. I think in order to try this stuff and to actually have a shot of really doing it, you had to have had a long background in film and done every sort of kind of film there was, and then do a film like this. I think then you can maybe really pull something off, because then the ins and outs of almost every kind of filmmaking, and then you do something like this, because this is a high wire act. To make it really resounding and to make it really hit with any kind of audience, I think you really need to know your stuff. So, that it's a horror movie would help, I think, because people do like horror, even horror that kind of doesn't make any sense. I saw Eraserhead. I still can't say I like that movie. It's weird. David Lynch. And even some of other Lynch's movies, I just sort of roll my eyes and go, too much, dude. But some of his movies that have more of a traditional narrative, but some of the weirdness in it, I like. I mean, I like the Twin Peaks show. I thought it was pretty genius. This movie kind of seems to approach that, although it's billed as a thriller. I think people, wanting to see a thriller would probably be disappointed. But let's read the write-up if there is one now. You know what? Let's go to the IMDb for this one, because I would like to know what the heck the plot is. I can tell you the 3-act structure. A man finds himself trapped in a desert canyon with a woman living off the grid who is captive to a pack of sadistic boys. Yeah, I kind of got that much. So Act 1, he gets trapped there. Realizes he's trapped. Nuts. Realizes he's trapped in the valley there, and tries to get out. In the process, hurts himself. Wakes up. The woman is there helping him. He'd already looked in the house and she wasn't there. Now she's back and she's helping him. She tells him, I'm trapped in here. These sadistic boys won't let me leave. he kind of doesn't believe her. The people are all crazy. They eke out a subsistence, you know, based on the food that I guess they grow or find. And then, like here, I don't know, that doesn't look like a real garden. But, so, you know, during the second act, he's trying to get out, he's trying to recover, he's trying to figure out where he is. Can't really figure it out. Third act, he probably does something to the sadistic boys that causes them to get mad at him, and then they come down there to fight him or kill him, and then he gets into a big fight with them at the end, but I don't think he wins. I don't feel like he would win, even if he was the only guy with a weapon. There's too many of them. The ending again is probably very esoteric. Like, he either dies, he never gets out, he's left there, and it's kind of like, or, you know, he definitely doesn't leave, I don't think. So one of those, and that's kind of a unsatisfying ending too, right? Like, you'd want to get some answers of what this all was, and I don't think you're really going to get any. So, not the kind of movie I would recommend for most people. I have a handful of film nut buddies. They would be interested in a movie like this, just, you know, because they've seen so many movies like me, and they'd go, "Oh, this good. That sounds kind of cool." But if you're not a film nut, I don't think it would be for you, because I think you'd just probably watch it and go, that's weird. What the hell's going on? I mean, if you like weird movies, I think it might be cool. But if you don't, I don't know what's going on here. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. I am at the Bivalve, New Jersey Bayshore Center. And this is in Bivalve, New Jersey. And now the Bayshore Center closes for the season after, let's say I'm there now. This is Saturday as you're seeing this. So Saturday is its last day. So if you'd like to get down to the center, check out the Pineys, check out the Bayshore Center. There's other crafters there other than me. There's also oysters. There's a bar. It's a good time. It's kind of all the way down there, but it's cool. It's kind of a cool place in Port Norris, or Bivalve. And so I'll be there from 10 to 4 today. And then on Sunday, I will be at Odysee Vintage from 11 to 3 in Absecon. Now, it's supposed to rain, but it looks like the rain's going to hold off until after the show. So I think we may have a shot at this. I'll keep you apprised tomorrow, or Saturday, later when you're seeing this. Hope to see you there. We'll see you in the next one.